Hello everyone, in this video we are trying to learn about placing JavaScript objects and primitives into orphanage containers for sending it to servers and processing at Google. So here we have the string here, we have defined a string and we have placed it into ee.string, and this is sent to the orphanage by this ee.string. So this ee dot here is a container for this thing or for this variable, and it helps to the variable to exist on the server, and we can print them. So this can also be done in the single line here, and this has been done in a single statement here, and this can be printed. So this argument here is sent to the server to be evaluated and is being sent to us. Similarly, for the numbers here, we have ee.number, and it creates a number object on the server, and this math.e is creating a constant value on the server, and we are getting it by printing it. And this ee.string and ee.numbers, these are the constructors, and they take certain arguments or they take some parameters, they put it into the container, and the contents are now returned to us as the origin object, and that origin object can be manipulated by us. And for that origin object, we have to use origin methods, or we have to use the origin built-in functions. Similarly, we have the built-in function to be performed on that number. We also have the list here, and these contains strings, they can contain numbers, and for that we have ee.list here, and this is creating it in the server, and we can also create the sequence in much easier way, and there is the function here ee.list.sequence, and these two statements or these two lines of code produces the same types of the result. And for getting that, or for extracting the value from that specific position on the list, we have .get, and here inside here we have the position of that value. And auth engine actually does not know what has been returned. For example, here we have retyped the value, but auth engine doesn't know if that is number or if that is something else. So what the data type is, we need to specify, and for that we have ee.number. Now we are specifying that the value that we have received is actually the number, and we can do or perform other things with that. We also have the dictionary here, and for the dictionary, in that dictionary we can have strings, we can have numbers, and we can have lists. So here we have the dictionary on the server that has been done by ee.dictionary, and here we have the keys and values, keys and values, and keys and values. And for getting the values from the dictionary, we have to do by .get, and we have to specify the properties name or the keys name, and this has been done 3 times, same thing. And to get all the keys, we can do that by .keys and parenthesis. This has been done to get all the keys. Similarly, we also have the dates, and we can define the dates by ee.date, and here is a function. If we do with capital D and date.now, and it is printing, or it prints the values in milliseconds since January 1, 1970. So this is, I believe, the built-in function within the auth engine. And by ee.date from the previous value, it is converting those milliseconds in the current date. So this is just the conversion of the values in the current date. And we also have the different ways of doing the dates, and this is by ee.date from YMT. And here we have entered the year, month, and date separately, separated by commas, and we can print them. And for easiness, or for increasing the readability of the codes, we can input the parameters, or we can input the arguments. And here we have the arguments day, month, and year, and these arguments are from the function uh, itself. So this is the way to do the same thing, but bit differently. So if we print, or if we run them all, so you can see here, the very first one was printing the variable name, that was string, and here we have the something printed in the console. And the second example was similar to the first one, just this was done in the single line, or in the single statement. And here we have the number printed that existed on the server. This is the constant. Similarly, uh, we had to use built-in function for the auth engine object, and the value here is 1. And we had the list here, and we had prepared the list in two different ways. The first one was doing in by manually typing it, and the second was by doing with the ee.list.sequence. This was the built-in function within the auth engine, and we had retrieved the value in the position number 2. And here it starts with a 0, 1, 2, so the value was 3 in this case. Similarly, we had used .at, and we had defined the value to be the number, and we had added, and we have got the result as 6. Similarly, we have a dictionary, and in that dictionary we had got the values, or we wanted to get the values from that dictionary each time. And here we have the first one here, second one here, and third one here. And for getting all the keys, we can specify .keys, and here we have the 3 different keys here. Similarly, we had the dates here, and the date here was we specify the date as 2015 12/31, and this here the type is date, and here we have certain values, and we have the milliseconds since the date January 1, 1970, and this date has been converted into the current date 2022 to 10, and this is the today's date. And similarly, we had the date specified in two different ways. The first one was by dot from YMT, and the second one was by using the different parentheses. These two are doing the same thing, just a way of doing it differently. So I hope this was helpful. This is adapted from the Auth Engine tutorials. I hope this was helpful. So thank you for watching.